Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, we're going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. Some AI Dungeon 2. AI Dungeon 2. So let me refresh the live chat. That way I'll be able to see what you all are saying in the live chat. Feel free to let me know how you're doing today. If you have any questions for your boy, and if you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream, also let me know if you would like to participate in today's AI Dungeon 2 game. Yo, Godzilla, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. It's good to see you again. You tuned into the Nick Benson vlog stream earlier. I imagine that you're here to play with us once again. Godzilla said, hello, I would like to participate. Oh, welcome, welcome. Would you like to play as the same character that you played as earlier, or would you like to play as a new character? Godzilla said, what should the prompt be? You're right. I focus too much on characters. I shouldn't ask about characters at the beginning. We should ask about like settings, and then we can introduce characters as we play. So the main focus should be on the setting. What kind of prompt do you want to play, Godzilla? I'm a big fan of like modern settings that involve superpowered characters, but I'm more than comfortable to go outside of my comfort zone to like do like other kinds of things. And we normally do other kinds of things, so I'm hyped for that. I'm really down for whatever you guys want to do. Godzilla said, I want to play in the Marvel universe. And then he says, I want to be a symbiote. So that actually is really cool. I was just talking with my girlfriend Beth about Marvel stuff. Godzilla said, oh, I had a great idea. Okay, hit me up. Also, it seems like you're on a symbiote kick. And he said, dragon symbiote. Okay, yeah. Yo, let's do that. So let me start up a new game of AI Dungeon 2. AI Dungeon 2. And it's going to be interesting to set it up in the Marvel universe. You are in the Marvel universe. Hmm. I guess it would make more sense to. Well, I was about to say that we were in the Marvel 616 universe, which is like the comic universe, but I actually would rather keep it more ambiguous because, we could technically be in one of the like unknown Marvel universes because Marvel has one of those multiverses where it's like there's an infinite number. So whatever fan fiction shit you make up should exist in the Marvel multiverse somewhere. So instead of giving it a number, I'll just say you're in the Marvel universe. You are with a group of recruits training to join the Young Avengers. You arrive at Avengers Mansion for orientation when suddenly, I think that gives us a good setup. It establishes that we're in the Marvel universe. It establishes that like the Avengers and like superheroes and stuff exist, and it sets us up as young recruits trying to join the team. So I think that'd be dope. Beth said, "Can you answer the last question I asked on Messenger here?" So I don't know what the last question you asked on Messenger was. At like 10:59, I like switched over to doing the stream. I can check. Godzilla said, my name is going to be Savage. Savage the Dragon Symbiote. Beth then said, one moment. Okay, I will add Savage to the character list. It's interesting that your name is going to be Savage the Dragon Symbiote. There's a character named Savage Dragon, who's an Image Comics character that I really vibe with. Um, so it's interesting that you're playing a Marvel based campaign as Savage the Dragon. But yeah, Savage is a dragon symbiote. I guess I should say something like Savage is a dragon symbiote with the power to possess the bodies of others and enhance them with the abilities of a dragon. Sounds fair. Beth said, that makes sense. If she died, would she have to restudy every transformation? She's talking about Husk, which is an X Men character who's able to transform into anything that's around the same like size and mass of her or smaller. But she has to study her transformations before she can become them. So, no, she would not have to restudy all of that. Beth was asking because the X Men now have the ability to, whenever they die, they have clone bodies that will then be uploaded with all their memories. So she was asking if Husk died, would she have to relearn all of her transformations? No, because the clones get all of their memories. So she wouldn't have to relearn anything. That's kind of the whole point. One of the things I had talked to Beth about is how, with the X Men getting these clone bodies, they're unable to make the clone bodies unless they're within range of Cerebro, which like psychically connects to the bodies. The reason why they need to be in range of Cerebro is so that Cerebro can tap into their most recent memories when they die, so that the clone essentially is a backup of them right as they died. So it's not about like they need to be in range for any genetic purpose. It's just in order to be able to get those most recent memories, if that makes sense. Okay. Godzilla said, "Oh, then I can change it." And then Godzilla said, "Wait, change what? What did you? It's fine if you want to be called Savage the Dragon. I was just pointing out that it's funny that your name is similar to the Image Comics character Savage Dragon. You can totally keep that name, Godzilla. That's totally fine." Beth said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then Godzilla said, "Scratch the dragon symbiote. Symbiote dinosaur." Okay, so it's gonna be Savage the dinosaur. To be honest, I kind of liked the dragon thing more. If anything, it feels like you downgraded to the dinosaur symbiote. It's totally fine. Like, you do what you want to do. And I'm changing it. It's just, I don't know. It's like you're the same thing but with less powers, if that makes sense. Beth said, "I wish I could participate, but I am busy tonight." No problem. Godzilla said, "Wait, wait. E. E. No problem, no problem. What would you. Do you want me to change anything about your character? Right now, it seems like it's just you and I on tonight's stream, which I think is fairly interesting because if it is really just you and I playing Godzilla, we're gonna have a lot of control over the story. Like a lot of control, which is actually kind of nice because I think we'll be able to have a more coherent story, especially now that we have like the slash alter command. Real quick, I'm gonna hit enter on that prompt that I had set up about us being in the Marvel universe, just so that the story can start kicking as we're establishing like the elements of your character and stuff like that, which we can add using remember at any time. So here's what we have so far. You are in the Marvel Universe. You are with a group of recruits training to join the Young Avengers. You arrive at Avengers Mansion for orientation when suddenly one of your teammates is attacked by a giant spider. "We need to get out of here," you shout, but it's too late. The rest of the team has already left. Oh man, that sucks. The idea of like trying to warn all your friends, but in reality they've already left you all behind because a giant spider is attacking. Also, what kind of heroes are they? They just all retreated? I mean, I guess I was also saying we need to retreat. We are recruits. Maybe that's the smart thing to do. I don't know. Let's see. So Godzilla says he wants to be a green symbiote that took control of a dragon named Savage. Okay, cool. I can do that. So let me change up what I had written before. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Savage is a green and alien, a green and alien symbiote because it doesn't like commas. So Savage is a green and alien symbiote. Savage has, oh wait, is a green and alien symbiote that possessed the body of a dragon. Makes sense. Savage has the power to possess beings and enhance their natural abilities while also granting them the powers of dragon. There we go. So now your character Savage has been added to my character descriptions list. And I'm going to use the remember command in order to add Savage to the game world. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say to Savage, Savage, I need your help. How are we going to defeat this giant spider? Savage, I need your help. How are we going to defeat this giant spider? Okay. You grab Savage and hold him tightly as he begins to cry. He looks up at you sadly and says, I can't do anything for you now. What? You ask. He continues to sob. It was my job to take care of you. I failed. Then Godzilla said, wait a minute, what? Yeah, so I don't know why, but the game is trying to make it seem as if, like, your job was to keep me safe, and for some reason you're really upset and think you can't do anything, even though you're a dragon symbiote. Godzilla said, I can be a good guy? I mean, you can play it however you want. Matter of fact, do you want me to, like, slash revert it? Because it did railroad your character. I mean, it really depends on how you want to play it. Like, are you okay with what the AI said in response? Or do you want me to revert? Godzilla said yeah, which I think means that he wants me to revert it. So I'm going to hit that hard revert. But real quick, I'm going to copy what I said before. That way, when I revert it, I'll be able to just retry. Which really does need to be added to the game. It is kind of weird that we don't have the retry button yet. But yeah, let's try that again. Godzilla said, I think he's more of a battle kind of thing, other than a I failed you kind of character. Understandable. So here's how it goes now. I say to Savage, Savage, I need your help. How are we going to defeat this giant spider? To which then Savage replies, I don't know how, but I can give you some ideas. He begins to draw something on his arm. What is it, you ask? He draws a large spider web and then holds up a hand, and the web disappears into his palm. What the fuck? What? So I ask your character, how can we defeat the giant spider? To which then he draws a spider web on his arm, and then the spider web goes into the palm of his hand and vanishes. Which I don't really know what that was supposed to mean, but that was his idea. Let's see. Godzilla said, how would a simple human pick it up from the neck? Pick what up from the neck? Then Godzilla said, wait, fucking Spider-Man? And he said, what do we do? He says, fucking Spider-Man, then what? He said, I can't deal with friggin' Spider-Man. I mean, we're not fighting Spider-Man. We're fighting like a giant spider. But what did you think of that last action? Because it did control your character. Godzilla said, I don't care. Okay, cool. Well, Godzilla, it is now your turn. You drew a weird spider web on your arm, and then it went into your palm. And then that was it. So what would you like to do now that it is your turn? Godzilla said, if it's webs, it's Spider-Man. Maybe your character was trying to say that we should call Spider-Man, but he did it in a roundabout way by drawing webs on his arm with something. I can't tell if, like, your character drawing webs on his arm was cool, or if it's a thing where it's like, hmm, maybe maybe we should revert it. So Godzilla said, Savage then says, wait, I do have an idea. Savage then fights the spider, then says, call Spider-Man. Cool. Okay, that sounds fair to me. That's kind of what I would have wanted to do anyways. Savage then says, wait, I do have an idea. Savage then fights the spider, then says, "Call Spider Man." The Spider Man appears and swings his bat at the creature. The creature bites him, causing him to scream in pain. Spider Man punches the beast, sending it flying through several walls before smashing into a wall and knocking himself unconscious. This was easy. So, Spider Man has a bat? I'm not against it. That's interesting. The idea that he literally swings in and hits the spider with a bat is kind of clean. Godzilla said, "Let's hope Spider Man says, 'uh oh, it's Venom,' and kills me." Then Godzilla said, "Wait, let's hope Spider Man doesn't say that. Sorry." Then he said, "Wait a minute, why a bat? Why not a bat?" I've actually seen, like in Spider Man video games, Spider Man create like little constructs out of his webs. And I think in Spider Man Shattered Dimensions, he even creates like a web bat or whatever. So I'm fine with this if you're fine with this. Are you cool with that? Or do you think that was kind of weird? It's up to you whether or not we should revert it or not. Godzilla said, "I'm fine with that." Okay. Then Godzilla said, "Are you fine with it?" "Yeah, I'm fine with it." So I'm going to thank Spider Man and Savage for their help in defeating the giant spider. Because I didn't really do anything. Godzilla said, "I think we should fight Venom." Or I should. He's like, I don't know if we should fight Venom, but he's like, "I definitely want to fight Venom." Here's what the game said in response to the last action that I did. "Thanks," you reply. "But what about the other two?" Wait, what? Savage looks around and sees that there are three more creatures lurking nearby. He doesn't seem worried though. He just points to them and says, "Call Doctor Strange." I like the idea that your character just keeps like saying, "What if we get other people to come fight?" Um, I'm fine with what the game said in response to that. I would just change where I say, "What about the other two?" to saying, "What about the other three?" Since there ended up being three creatures, not two. Or saying, just changing to say, "What about the others?" I think would be fine. Godzilla said, "Can you change what I say?" "Yeah, I can change what you say. What do you want to say?" Like instead of that. So he wants to say instead, "I can beat them." Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes. Both of the things make sense actually. So this time around, you're going to say, "I can beat them." So I'm going to change that now. Awesome. So now it is your turn, Godzilla. What are you gonna do? There are three more creatures lurking. We got Spider Man here with us. I haven't really done anything but just talk to people. Oh, and we're recruits for the Young Avengers. So we're supposed to be here as like young superheroes trying to learn how to be like full fledged superheroes. Doom, 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 doom. But it is now your move. Doom, 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 doom. With two people, rounds should move rather quickly. Okay, so he's gonna go for the black flames. Savage breathes black flames at the creatures. Is that your full action? I mean, I imagine so. But I'm just checking to make sure. And then he said yes. Okay, cool. I'll send that through now. "Fireball," you shout. "Got it," Savage replies. As soon as he fires, a ball of fire explodes from his hand and hits the creature directly in front of him. It screams loudly and falls backwards, burning its body completely before falling dead to the ground. So I think it's interesting what the AI did because you wanted to breathe black flames, but instead it had you shoot fire out of your hand. But I like how it made me like say what attack you should do, and then you were like, "I got you," because it almost makes it feel like a teamwork kind of thing. Would you like me to change where it says that you shoot the fireball out of your hand to out of your mouth, or do you prefer out of your hand? You said hand. That's even more awesome. So it seems like you vibe with that. Nerd Tanker said, "Brah, what's up? Yo, Nerd Tanker, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Also, would you like to play some AI Dungeon 2? Some AI Dungeon 2. We're playing AI Dungeon 2 right now. We're doing a multiplayer stream. Right now, we are playing a campaign where we're in the Marvel Universe. And there are these weird creatures that have shown up and attacked us. Spider Man came in and helped us fight a giant spider. And right now we're fighting indescript creatures working together and kicking ass. Let's see. Godzilla said, "No, that's great. I'm going to let the AI create some of my powers, like the hand blast." Nerd Tanker said, "How to play AI Dungeon? Oh, it's easy. So since we're playing through the live chat, all you have to do is tell me like what you want your character's name to be. Tell me like what you want your character's powers to be, and then whenever it's your turn, I just go, hey, it's Nerd Tanker's turn, and then you just say what you want to do in the game world, and that's pretty much it. AI Dungeon 2 is a game where you can say anything and do anything. So you can say anything and do anything. It's like a text based game. So I essentially read back to you what the AI says. And we can all play together and control our own characters. It's a fun, free game. I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it out yet. Let's see. Ryan said hi. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Ryan, would you like to join us in AI Dungeon 2? Also, how's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Let's see. Godzilla said hello. Ryan said I finished watching She-Ra season 4. I started watching Ruby volume 6. Oh, okay. I hope that you enjoyed She-Ra season 4 and that you enjoy Ruby volume 6. And then Nerd Tanker said, so Dungeons and Dragons? Kinda, but think less rules, and an AI works as the dungeon master. So no one has to be the dungeon master. Like everybody can play, which is pretty solid. And there are a lot of cool features built into the game to help make it a little bit more fun. Then Godzilla said, yes it is. Ryan said, yeah, I'll join. Okay, ballin'. Let me add everybody to the turn order. So I'm going to add Nerd Tanker to the turn order, and I'm going to add Ryan. I also have a page where I've been keeping up with everybody's characters. So in case you ever want to play the character you're playing today again in the future, I have them all listed by name to where I can easily throw them into a game at any point. So Ryan, Nerd Tanker, what would you like to name your characters, and what would you like your character's powers to be? The current setting is that we're playing in the Marvel Universe, and we're new recruits trying to train in order to join the Avengers. We're like the young Avengers recruits or whatever. We're currently fighting monsters, and Spider-Man is there with us, and that's pretty much all we're doing at the moment. But you can definitely decide to create a character from like any universe and to like give your character its own interesting spin. It doesn't have to fit into the Marvel universe. Regardless, it should be fun and interesting. Let's see, Nerd Tanker said, I will be Ichigo. My power is to summon a giant fucking sword. Okay, ballin'. I will type that in now. Ichigo. Ichigo has the power to summon a giant sword. I'm afraid to say a giant fucking sword because the AI might make your sword literally fuck things. Let's see. Ryan said, I'll tell Beth to watch She-Ra with you. I'm curious if she would be interested in She-Ra or not. She might. She really likes female-driven shows. Nerd Tanker said, I'm in, lol. Godzilla said, okay, I'm playing as a green symbiote dragon, just to say. Then Nerd Tanker said, I already said my power is to summon a giant fucking sword. And then he put the XD. Okay, ballin'. I will add your character to the game now. We're able to use this command called /remember, where we can straight up just add characters and story elements like directly into the game. It's pretty nice. And it'll be something that the game always remembers. Let's see. So Ryan's going to be playing a character Rick. So let me add Rick to the character page as well. Let's see. Rick thought his name was Dig, but he was incorrect. Let's see. Rick has the power to spiritually possess objects and people. That's kind of interesting. He took the weird naming thing that happened with Nightwing and applied it to a Deadman-esque character. Okay, so you guys have been added to the game, and I'm gonna say it's now Nerd Tanker's turn. Nerd Tanker, what would you like to do? You're Ichigo. You have the power to summon a giant sword. We're currently fighting random creatures that have shown up, and we're recruits to the Young Avengers team in the stories in like the Marvel universe. Nerd Tanker said, "Immediately use my power when I enter combat." And then Nerd Tanker said, "No, Ryan, don't you dare control me." Then Godzilla said, "Wait, what's wrong, Godzilla? Is everything all right?" It threw me when Godzilla said, "Wait." He said, "Wait," but then didn't say anything else. What's the rest of the wait? While you're saying wait, I'll start typing in Nerd Tanker's thing. So Godzilla said, "Because I'm a symbiote, if I go in Ryan, doesn't that mean I can control other people through him?" And then Godzilla said, "Done." So you're asking, if you possess Ryan using your symbiote abilities, can you then use his abilities? I guess it depends on how much control you have over him. In a lot of cases, the black suit for Spider Man doesn't like fully override him. They kind of like share a body. So I'm not sure if you would fully take control of Brian or if you guys would both share Ryan. It depends on how AI Dungeon interprets it, I guess. Nerd Tanker said, "I say to the creatures, what be you, friend or foe?" Okay, so I'm going to say Ichigo uses his powers in order to summon a giant sword. Ichigo races into battle and says to the creatures, what be you, friend or foe? There we go. And we'll now paste that in and let's see what happens. And I'll dramatically read what the AI says in response as well as your action. Okay. Ichigo uses his powers in order to summon a giant sword. Ichigo races into battle and says to the creatures, what be you, friend or foe? They all look at each other and answer, friend, which causes Ichigo to laugh. Good job, he shouts. Now let's see who will win. You run forward and throw a punch at the first creature, but it dodges. Oh, that was really weird. So here's how the AI reacted to what you said. More or less, you asked them if they were friend or foe. Then the creature said that they were friendly, to which then you laughed and said, good job. And then you said, now let's see who will win. To which then my character suddenly runs forward and tries to punch one of the creatures, but then the creature dodges out of the way. So, Nerd Tinker, I'd like to ask, do you feel like this is like what you wanted to happen? We have the ability to revert an action if we dislike it. So if you're cool with this action, we'll move forward and it'll be Ryan's turn. If you're not cool with how this action played out, we can do /revert and see what happens if we try it again. Or you could try a different action, or we could edit the AI's response. Nerd Tanker said, yes, that is what I wanted. Okay, cool. Then we'll stick with this. Ryan said, revert is for cowards. And then Nerd Tanker said, legit, lol. Okay, ballin'. Well, then it is now Ryan's turn. So Ryan is now going to attempt to possess the entire planet. Because who says you can't power scale in AI Dungeon 2? So let's see. So Godzilla said probably alter, like if he was going to change anything. Then Nerd Tinker said, oh god, Nick. Rick attempts to possess the entire planet. Okay, we got him. And then Nerd Tinker said, no. It's too late. It's too late. Rick's about to attempt it. It doesn't mean that he will. just means he's gonna try to. Then Godzilla said, Nick, why? And then Nerd Tanker said, if you succeed, I swear. So here's how the game responds. Rick attempts to possess the entire planet. To which then my character says, okay, so I'm not really sure if this works. Rick nods and says, it'll work. Then he grabs you and begins to slowly drag you towards the moon. Hey, wait, I shout. Don't take me with you. Hold on, hold on. So Rick attempted to possess the planet. To which then I was like, I don't know if that works. To which then Ryan then nods and goes, it'll work. And then drags me slowly towards the moon. I don't even know how you get slowly dragged towards the moon. Are we flying then? Or is he slowly dragging me on the ground, but in the direction that the moon's in? Uh, then I shout, hey, wait, don't take me with you. When you said you wanted to possess the planet, is the AI like, nah, the moon? He means not Earth. He means the moon, up there. Out of the way. Nerd Tanker said, wait, what? Then Ryan said, get mooned. Then Godzilla said, what the hell? So I feel like, for the most part, we're in agreement that we should probably revert this action. But knowing Ryan, knowing Ryan, he would likely say something like, revert is for the weak. No, no reverts. Ryan doesn't like to revert stuff. Which, if that's true, then I don't really know what's happening, but it doesn't seem like Ryan possessed the planet. So Ryan said revert is for the weak of will. Okay, cool. Well, if that's the case, then it's my turn. I'm gonna say, try to escape from Rick and rejoin the battle against the creatures. That way we can get the story back on track while Ryan goes to, I guess, possess the moon. You attempt to fight back, but Rick easily overpowers you. Let go of me, you cry out. Shut up, he laughs. I've been waiting for someone like you to test my new powers. Well, shit. Okay, cool. So I tried to get away from Ryan's character. I couldn't get away from Ryan's character. It is now your boy Godzilla's turn. It looks like Ryan's character is going to try to slowly drag me to the moon because he's trying to test out his new abilities. Godzilla said, wait, I forgot your name is Ryan, not Nick. Heck. Then Nerd Tanker said, lol. Then Godzilla said, Nick is the streamer. To which the Nerd Tanker said, Nick, no. So it is now Godzilla's turn. We're still fighting monsters. And Ryan's character, Rick, is going to try to drag me into space. My character, by the way, hasn't been described as having any powers or anything like that. I'm not sure if I could survive being dragged into space. I did try to punch one of the monsters earlier, but it dodged out of the way, so I don't really have any feats. Like, I don't have any, like, evidence that I can do something cool. The coolest thing I've done is yell for other people to do stuff, to which then they did something cool. So I'm curious if I'm about to get dragged into space and, like, die. Okay, so Godzilla's like, Savage flies up to you and grabs you, then flies back to Earth and says, what the hell was Rick doing? I like the way that went. Okay, so let me copy and paste that. I'm gonna replace the comma with and because of the fact that it prefers ands over commas. And then I guess I'm gonna just paste it in and see what happens. Ryan said, get straight moonslided? Then Godzilla said, imagine a symbiote saying that. That's Godzilla's way of saying, use the symbiote voice. I got you. Savage flies up to you and grabs you, then flies back to Earth and says, what the hell was Rick doing? Oh, nothing. I was just practicing my powers, Rick replies. Savage then grabs you again and flies off. That's right. I'm going to be able to control anything now, he exclaims. Well, hold up. That last line was probably Rick talking. So that was Rick saying, That's right. I'm going to be able to control anything now, he exclaims. So the game is really buying into the idea of Ryan's character Rick actually being able to possess anything he wants. Uh, and now Godzilla's character is flying me away, I guess, because he's trying to keep me from getting moonslided by Rick. So this is interesting. Let's see. Godzilla then said, What? And then he said, Yes. Okay, cool. So next up would be Nerd Tinker. And then Godzilla said, Protect main character at all costs. I remember there was that show Heroes where it was like, Save the cheerleader, save the world. So Nerd Tinker, here's what's currently going on. We got weird creatures that we're fighting. Spider Man's there, but he hasn't really been relevant since we defeated the giant spider. Rick has learned that he can now control anything he wants, and he can straight up drag people from Earth to the moon, which sounds potentially really dangerous. Right now, I'm in the arms of Godzilla's character, who has like black flame attacks and is a dragon symbiote. And last time we checked in with your character, Nerd Tinker, you were fighting the creatures using your giant sword. Let's see. Godzilla said, We don't want a dog eat cat situation. Ryan said, I never watched Heroes. I think like the first like few seasons of Heroes was alright. It's one of those shows where I think most people agree it went downhill over time. There was like a Heroes comeback series or whatever that was like a sequel series. I've only saw a little bit of that. I don't know a lot about it. Let's see. Ryan said I saw like the first episode once. It's probably all on Soap Today if you wanted to watch it online. Nerd Tinker said I will attempt to swing at one of the creatures, but not try to kill it. Okay, I can specify that. So Ichigo attempts to swing at one of the creatures using his giant sword to deal non-lethal damage. Ichigo attempts to swing at one of the creatures using his giant sword to deal non-lethal damage. Godzilla then said, Nigga Benson. Then Ryan said, I don't want to watch it. That's totally fair. You don't have to watch Heroes. Arg, you groan as you feel the blade cut into your skin. Well done, Ichigo cheers. This on one of those Oh, he said, try this on one of those beasts. You grab the handle of your sword and swing it at the creature, but miss. Hold on, that was really confusing. So, in order to explain what the AI just said, essentially Ichigo tried to swing at one of the creatures with his sword, but instead he like sliced into me. So Ichigo accidentally cut me. To which then I'm like, ah, because I feel the blade cut into my body. To which then Ichigo cheers, well done, and then he said, try this on one of those beasts. To which then it says that my character grabs the handle of my sword, which apparently I have, and then I swing it at a creature, but then I miss. So the visual for this is really interesting because I'm still in the arms of Godzilla's character Savage, the symbiote dragon. So I'm in the arms of the symbiote dragon. Ichigo tries to hit one of the creatures, misses, hits me in the arms of Savage, to which then Ichigo, after hitting me, goes, well done. Try this on one of those beasts. Almost as to say, yeah, I hit you because you need to be hitting the bad guys. To which then I grab my sword that I guess I have, and then I use it to try to fight the creatures. But I seem to have shitty accuracy because I haven't landed a single hit like this whole campaign. Um, is that like cool with you guys for the story? Or should we revert it? Or should we alter it? What are you guys' thoughts? Because it's fine for us to like fail, like for us to try to do something and it not go exactly the way that we intended, as long as the game doesn't make us do something entirely different. Godzilla said, "That's so weird though." And then he said, "Wait, I wasn't here." And then he said, "What are you talking about?" The Nerd Tanker said, "I mean, I didn't want to hit you, but it happened." And it's true that it did happen. Godzilla said, "I wasn't here. What are you talking about?" Well, remember in your last action, it mentioned that you fly, like that you flew off, but you flew off after returning back to Earth from the moon. So there was nothing that specified that you didn't come back to the like training site or whatever. Because we're at Avengers Mansion right now. So there's nothing that says that you didn't come back to Avengers Mansion. So I think it still kind of works. Let's see. Then Godzilla said, "Yep, yep, yep. Mm-hmm." Okay. So, and then Godzilla said, "Yeah." So next would be Ryan's turn. Okay, Ryan, Rick, the man who can control anything. What would you like to do? Also, for future reference, this has been an interesting Marvel based campaign so far. I think a Suicide Squad campaign would be really interesting, where we all have like bombs implanted in us and we're trying to like complete a mission, but at any time the AI could be playing as a character who could like blow up the bombs in our heads. I think that could be really cool and really chaotic. But I think that would be like a fun campaign. But anyways, it is now Ryan's move, controlling the character Rick. Godzilla said, "I found a bunch of bad jokes." Ryan said, "Rick can climb anything," and tries to swing up to the moon and possess it. Okay, so Ryan has fully embraced these Suicide Squad jokes. Let's see. Rick can climb anything and tries to swing up to the moon and possess it. Let's see how that goes. Godzilla said, "What did one hat say to the other? You stay here, I'll go on ahead." And then he said, "Aha!" And then he just kind of laughed for a while like that. Then Godzilla said, "Oh my god." To which the Narrator said, "Bad joke." And then Godzilla said, "This is so bad." He said, "I said a bad joke. Bad joke." Okay, so here's what the AI said in response to Ryan's action. Rick can climb anything and tries to swing up to the moon and possess it. "How come you're not controlling me?" you ask, you being my character. "Because I don't want to," Rick replies. "And besides, I need to practice my powers on something else." Okay, so Rick, aka Ryan, attempts to swing up to the moon to possess it. To which then I'm like, "Why aren't you trying to possess me?" Which I guess is a fair question. Rick was trying to drag me to the moon with him earlier, and now he is not. To which then Rick is like, "I don't want to possess you. I need to practice possessing other things." So I guess that's what he's doing now. Ryan doesn't like revert, so I don't think he wants to revert that action. I think he's probably cool with that. So I'm going to take my next turn now. So I'm going to try to. Hmm. Wait, I think I have an idea. Try to telepathically communicate with Professor Xavier and ask him if I am a mutant that possesses any special powers. Well, I probably shouldn't say any. That possesses special powers. When I say that I'm trying to telepathically communicate with him, I don't necessarily mean that I have telepathy, but since Professor Xavier can tap into the minds of mutants and stuff, I didn't know another way of describing, like, I'm thinking something, but I'm hoping that he's listening. You know what I mean? That's why it's like I try to telepathically communicate to him. But let's see if I can get that going. Godzilla said, "What do you do if someone thinks an onion is the only food that can make them cry? Throw a coconut at their face." He said, "That is a joke I found on the website where I found the hat one." Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, here is how the AI responds to the last thing that I tried to do, as well as the action. I try to tell, well, I should say you being me. You try to telepathically communicate with Professor Xavier and ask him if, oh, I said I am a mutant. I accidentally said the wrong tense. I should have said, like, you. Anyways, let's see if it worked. And ask him if I am a mutant that possesses special powers. Mutants have superpowers, Professor X says. Some of us can absorb the energy of mutants to increase our own powers. So I am a mutant, you ask? Professor X smiles and nods. Sweet. Okay. So I'm a mutant, apparently, and Professor X says that some of us can absorb the energy of other mutants to increase our own powers. I imagine he wouldn't just be saying that for no reason. I might be able to use other mutants as batteries in order to do my own cool shit. So that'll be cool. If it comes back around to my turn, I'll try and do something with that. So next up, we got your boy Godzilla. Godzilla, it is your move. What would you like to do? Let's see. So Ryan said revert is for people who wear unweighted gis. Ooh, ooh. I see your Dragon Ball references. Nerdtaker said, well. Then Ryan said, time to send in the MRD and arrest Jet. Mutant something department? Mutant resistant department? Mutant resistance department? Mutant rebellion department? It wouldn't be mutant rebellion. Mutant registration department? Mutant restriction department. I've never heard of the MRD. MRD. X-Men. What is Mutant Response Division. Yeah, I would have never guessed that. Godzilla said, I speak to Xavier using my mind, saying, where is the human flesh I was promised? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So, Savage speaks to Xavier using his mind and says, where is the human flesh I was promised? What a line. To which then Godzilla's like, he's hungry. Okay. It's interesting that it made Professor X physically there, because they're like, he smiles and nods. Because they really didn't have to do that, since we were speaking telepathically. Xavier replies, in your stomach. To which then I scream, then where is the human flesh I was promised? I demand to know. Xavier looks down at you and shakes his head. He turns around and walks away, leaving you alone in the room. In the room? We are in Avengers Mansion, so I guess there was nothing that said that we were outside. I think the main thing that's kind of wrong with this one is that it was like you instead of savage. But we can easily use alter in order to replace the use with savage. So, Godzilla, would you be okay if that same thing happened, but we just replaced the use with savage? Godzilla said, yes, alter. Excuse me. Okay, ballin'. So I'm going to change you to savage screams. It says Xavier looks down at you, which is kind of weird. Because I imagine Savage is a rather large creature. So I'm gonna say he's gonna look up, especially since Xavier like sits in a wheelchair normally. He can currently walk around though, but whatever. He turns around and walks away. It's weird that it's like leaving Savage alone in the room because, you know, Savage, like, we should all be in the room because we're in Avengers Mansion right now. Like, if we're in a room, it's not just going to be alone in a room. So I also want to get rid of that last part where it says leaving you alone in the room. So it'll just be like Xavier looks up at Savage and shakes his head. He turns around and walks away. So I guess this is the Xavier that can walk now, which is fine because he can currently walk in the comics. So I think that works a little bit better. Uh, and it doesn't mix up the characters. Ba-dum-bum. Let's see. So now that was Godzilla's turn. Next up is Nerd Tanker. Nerd Tanker, what would you like to do? It seems like everybody kind of stopped fighting the creatures in order to talk with Professor Xavier mentally. So that's the thing that's happening. I learned that I was a mutant. Savage tried to convince Xavier that he was promised mutant flesh, not mutant flesh, human flesh. To which Xavier's just like, you ate it already. He just kind of dips. Um, Rick is still trying to possess the moon, and your character accidentally hit me last turn. Was the most recent thing. Godzilla said he is hungry. He need food. So now, Nerd Tanker, what would you like to do? The last thing you did was accidentally hit me with a sword. The last thing Rick did is that he's like on his way to the moon, trying to possess the moon. Nerd Tinker said, I swing my sword at the creature again. Nerd Tinker's like, I'm gonna hit this creature. Okay. Ichigo once again swings his sword in an attempt to deal non-lethal damage to a nearby creature. Maybe creature is so vague that the game's like, and then it hits any living thing. But let's see how it goes. You hear a loud noise and realize that you've hit something hard. It doesn't seem to hurt you though. So I think the issue here is that it said you, which is specifying my character, rather than Ichigo, which is your character. Would you be okay with what it just said if I use the alter command to change it from me to you, since you were the one who actually did the action? Because it sounds like you hit something hard, but the thing that you hit doesn't hurt you. So that could imply a creature that like has some kind of like tough like shell or exterior, or like some kind of metal creature or something like that. Um, and then Nerd Tinker said, "No, I don't mind." And it also seems like whatever you hit, at the very least, isn't like agitated by it, which is interesting. Let's see. Ichigo hears a loud noise and realizes that he has hit something hard. It doesn't seem to hurt Ichigo though. There we go. Let's see. Ryan said he hit a rock with his shovel because he was digging for buried treasure. Let's see. So that was Nerd Tinker's turn. We still don't know what he hit, but we know it was hard. Next up is Ryan's turn. Ryan, what would you like to do? Godzilla said he hit the rock with the shovel. Dwayne Johnson. We had one really silly campaign where we started making a bunch of the rock jokes. Nerdtinger said, I have a sword. Correction, you have a big fucking sword, as you described it. Or did you describe it as a giant fucking sword? It was something along those lines. But you do have quite the large sword. I'm glad that you hit the thing. So Ryan's going all in with trying to possess the moon. Rick attempts to possess the moon. And the Nerd Tanker said giant. Lol. So let's see where this goes. This isn't working, you yell. Why not? Why not? Rick asks. The moon is the most powerful object in the universe, and I can possess it. You look around and see several other creatures attempting to possess various objects, including the moon. Whoa, 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 whoa. So my character yells, this isn't working. To which then Ryan's character says, why not? the moon is the most powerful object in the universe, and I can possess it. To which then there are now way more creatures than before, but they all are possessing things as well, and they're also trying to possess the moon. So we've established a few things. We're in a Marvel universe where the moon is the most powerful thing in the universe, which I guess is why the AI was like, why would he possess the planet when he could just possess the moon? So Ryan's actually on the verge of becoming the most powerful thing in the game, but there are also now a whole bunch of creatures that can possess shit. A matter of fact, now that I think about it, the game hasn't described any of these creatures other than the giant spider that we fought earlier. And since we now know that these creatures are trying to possess things, they could be other symbiotes, considering the fact that Godzilla's character is a symbiote. So this is going to be quite interesting. Godzilla said Uatu lives on the moon. It would be interesting if it's implying that, like, if you possess the moon, that you get control over Uatu, because the Watcher in the Marvel Universe is quite powerful. But I also believe not too long ago he died. But whatever. Uh, Ryan then said, Moon. So I believe it is now my turn. So here's what I'm going to do. Attempt to use your power to absorb the energy of the nearby creatures and Rick to stop them from possessing things. Because I don't want any of these creatures or Rick to be able to possess the moon. I think that would be a little too dangerous for like everybody. The game then said, you attempt to do so, but the moon suddenly begins to glow red and begins emitting beams of light. The beam hits you and you scream in pain. Ah, that hurts. Rick sighs. It seems we have failed to possess the moon. Ah, shit. Okay. So, the moon has not been possessed, which is what I wanted. Well, hold up. The moon might have been possessed by a creature. I think Rick failed to possess the moon, so I think I stopped Rick, but I think one of the creatures possessed the moon and is now attacking me with that moon. Godzilla said 4 minutes left. Ryan said, you woke up the moon. Nerdtanker said, oh boy, looks like I have to step up. Ooh. Let's see. So next up we have Godzilla. Godzilla, it is your turn. Also, Godzilla brings up a good point. We have very little time left, so let's see how much we can do in the next, like, 2 minutes, because we really don't have any time. Do 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 do. Waiting on Godzilla. 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 Ryan said Godzilla versus the moon. That sounds pretty intense, not gonna lie. The Nerd Tanker said, come on, Godzilla. Godzilla is also like a dragon symbiote. So it'd be like dragon symbiote versus glowing red moon that can shoot powerful, painful beams. So this should be quite interesting. Ooh. Oh shit. Okay, so Godzilla said, Savage does his ultimate game plan and eats the moon. He didn't put attempt in there, but let's just type it in as is and see what happens. Ryan said, just call Piccolo to destroy the moon. Here's what the game says in response. You watch as Savage begins to eat the moon. No way, you say. He can't do that. We've tried everything. We haven't, Rick responds. But I think we've seen enough for today. It's interesting for Rick to be like, I think we're done. I think we're done. That nigga's eating it. He's eating the moon. Let's see. Nerd Tanker said, you won't eat it. So there's thing Godzilla says, the end. Okay, I mean, it ends by a symbiote dragon eating the most powerful thing in the universe. Nertanker says, so the moon is gone? Sounds like it. We didn't put attempt in his action. We just put his action in raw. So when you just say that you do something rather than you attempt to do something, a lot of times you just get it, which is why we put attempt in most of the time. But the only reason why I put his action in raw is because we had little to no time. So I just wanted to see what happens if he actually just straight up ate the moon. But anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching and participating. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Thank you all once again for coming by. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. Thank you all once again. I truly appreciate it. And stay tuned. Hopefully we'll do another one of these streams tomorrow. I haven't been doing a lot of streams recently, but I'm going to try to get back on a regular schedule. Anyways, thank you guys once again. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jump Like the One and Only, logging out. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to leave a like and share this video with your friends. Check it out.